Hello once again, who's up for some more card games? Before I advance the story, I'm going to take on a couple of optional duels. The first is at the art building, where you can face off against Bakura. I think it's pretty interesting that Bakura is here of all places. I'll explain why that is later on in the story. But you can talk to him and you can duel him, and Kartal has made Bakura into a particularly difficult opponent. But he gives a very, very good card if you win. So I would like to win. Alright. I'm gonna start out with a Dream Monster. Bakura strikes me as the kind of guy to use Dark Monsters, and I was right. But he's sure to have a bunch of other cards as well. So far, it looks like he's just playing the Dark cards, or just really weak monsters in general. Alright, a Fiend Monster, I expected that at some point. I will just play Hourglass of Life and attack normally, because I don't want to see his Tribute Monsters come out. We're getting to the point of the game where the opponents will have some very powerful Tribute Monsters, and a card that restores his life points. It's only 500 points, so it's really not that much. Now, I remember the Lady of Faith of being the monster that Bakura got to cosplay as in that one episode of the show. Fascinating stuff. So I'm glad Kartal added it to Bakura's deck in this game. Right, so far I haven't really met with any heavy resistance from him. He's down to 2,800. Bakura's duel is available much earlier, but I did not want to face off against the increased difficulty with the cards that I had at the time. I think that seals it. He doesn't have anything he can beat me with. Magician of Faith, why would you put that in Bakura's deck? Oh well. I was actually really lucky in that duel. I think my deck has an issue where it has too little monsters and I'm not drawing the ones I need. But regardless, by beating Bakura, you get Dark Necrofear, which is a 2-tribute monster. However, it is allowed to steal an enemy monster, which makes it a very, very good card in my opinion. Next up, I'm going to take on the optional duel I talked about in the previous video. So I'm going to head on over to the park area and duel the guy with a weird afro. He wants to know where Yugi is for some reason. And if you tell him, then the duel begins. Alright, this is a better opening hand than the last time I tried this duel. I think I should probably be, like, preparing better for this duel, because this is a Dream and Light deck. It's not really prepared for the kind of things you have to fight against. But hey, I got a good opening draw, and the opponent got a relatively less good opening draw, so I think I'm okay. He's got a lot of beast monsters. I just need 1,000 damage. I wish I had some of those direct damage cards. Oh, that was a big mistake. Okay, so he just gave me the win right away. That must have hurt. And for that victory, I get the card I just, well, I didn't beat this, but hey. 1,700 defense is pretty high. Also, he wants to beat Yugi. I figured. He's in for a very big surprise when he faces Yugi. Hey, look at this. Funny graphical glitch. Yeah. I've been trying to beat my Valentine for half an hour now. I don't think it's possible with the cards I've got, but I'm gonna try it anyways. She's got 5 locator cards, and she's looking to take the last one from Joey himself. So she's not interested in betting locator cards with us, which is good, because I have 6 of them already. I don't need to lose one against you. Right, first things first, I'm going to draw. I really need to get to the good cards in my deck as soon as possible, because my Valentine is very difficult. She's got all the best cards, lots of really good spells. This is not a good opening for her. So what should I do here? Probably use Hoshiningen to power up, because I'm actually able to use him. So far, so good. Harpy Late is a little concerning, but I can beat that. So I'll use Hoshiningen again. I've got a 1900 point light monster, which is good, but she has a dark monster. She has a lot of attribute variety, so that could always come out. Spirit of the Books is a bit unexpected. She's got a lot of winged beast monsters and a lot of female monsters, but so far this is a very lucky draw for me. So what should I do here? Obviously get rid of Spirit of the Books first. You don't want to let her tribute summon anything, because she's got some really big tribute monsters. Funnily enough, one very silly AI quirk that I've seen out of Mai is that if she can tribute summon her Harpy's Pet Dragon, which is a 2 tribute monster with 2,000 attack points. However, she can then tribute the Pet Dragon for Empress Judge, which has 2,100 attack points, which was really, really weird to me, because, you know, you spent 2 tributes to get the Pet Dragon out, and now you're just gonna tribute that for the Empress Judge. But, okay, she was very, very kind in this duel. Like, I just want to say, it took a dozen tries to beat her. But I got lucky, and I managed to do it. So what do I get for beating her? Lots of money and deck capacity, and Cyber Harpy, which is way too strong for me at the moment. Interesting. You're pretty good. Yeah, being friends with Joey makes you stronger. Just ask Taya Gardner. Anyways, there's an interesting Easter egg on the first floor of this building. I don't think you can see this if you just follow the plot and never come in here of your own volition. Inside, you will find 2 NPCs playing what appears to be Dance Dance Revolution with a really weird graphical quirk here. But actually, I think the game is actually supposed to be Beatmania, which is another Konami music game. The reason I think that is because the background music for this floor of the building is a Beatmania song, which is a really neat Easter egg that I did not know about until way later in my life because I don't play Beatmania, so there you go. Alright, let's continue on with the plot. And from here on out, assume that I edit my deck in between every duel, because I think I'm going to need to do that quite a lot. The guy we beat before is now here at the game shop. How did you do against Yugi, my man? Well, of course you couldn't win. I mean, what did you expect? Challenging the guy known as the King of Games. That's literally what Yu-Gi-Oh! Means. Speaking of whom, he's here at the game shop. I forgot to mention that you're not really allowed to buy cards at this place, which I thought was really weird, but you are in Reshape of Destruction. And he charges a pretty penny for all of his cards, too. Anyways, we get a visit from one of the ghouls. This is what the generic ghoul looks like. Just a purple robe, a really bright purple robe. It seems they have taken Taya Gardner and Joey Wheeler, and they want our decks in exchange for their lives. But instead of handing over pieces of paper in exchange for human beings, we're gonna do this the hard way. So now we need to find them. And at this point in the game, this is where the ghouls basically take over the entire city. They appear in multiple locations, including the graveyard and the alleyway where we dueled for our first 2 locator cards. And unfortunately, you have to go to all of these different locations and beat the ghouls in those areas at least once in order to advance the story. So as you can see, they've kicked Esparoba out. Let's take some revenge for them, shall we? I'm pretty sure most of these ghouls are basically the same. Well, this one's got a lot of spell cards. He's using it to power up his monster as well. Right, so he's got a Thunder monster. Unfortunately, I think Kartal gave these guys a wide variety of decks, so it might be difficult to tell what I'm supposed to use against each one, unfortunately. I'm sure if I just defend on this first turn, I should be able to... Oh, look, a Raigeki. Oh, a Wall of Illusions. This is a dream monster that I kind of wanted to put in my deck myself, but I didn't really have the capacity for it. I might now, though. Alright, 1 ghoul down and just a bunch more to go. You're gonna get a lot of deck capacity in Kartal's patch, at least. And a lot of money, too. Hey, King of Yami Makai. It's kind of a junky monster. Now, they temporarily leave the area, but they actually come back. But that little ding noise that you just heard, that confirms that you've done something plot-related. So now it's time for round 2. Very good opening hand for me, but oh my goodness, 4 face-down cards. What is he? He's like that one duelist that started by setting his entire hand face down, and not one of them is a trap card that can activate? That's weird. This guy got unlucky. He got double unlucky. I just feather dusted his entire hand. Well, this isn't gonna last long. Well, he'll stall with Raigeki at least. He just drew that, so I don't need to draw a card, just go for his life points. He was down to 300 life points, so I really should have recognized that the single Hourglass of Life direct attack would have been enough to do it. Warrior of Tradition, another kind of not good card. And he leaves, but again, he respawns, so Bones can't go back into the graveyard quite yet. I am going to save, and then we need to move on to the next area. Alright, the next step is to beat the ghouls at each of the locations they are occupying. They're occupying the aquarium, the bridge, and I think the art museum as well. I think you have to beat these guys here. Let's see if it's true. These cards I clam in the name of the ghouls. I clam. There's a couple typos like that. So, the ghouls are kind of actually difficult. I think Kartal decided now was the time for a difficulty spike, but as long as I get some lucky draws, I should be okay. That must be a fiend monster. And I'm right. If they put a monster in defense, easy to assume it's a fiend monster. Well, if you have a light monster, of course. Point is, if they defend, it's something they certainly can't beat. Well, they can't beat you with. Boy, oh boy. Feeling a little off today, but I'm okay. Oh, he's playing a Wasteland deck, I guess. Well, this is the first time we've seen a Wasteland field. And this guy is proving to be... Oh, that's a lot of defense points. How do I get rid of it? I don't think I can get rid of it. And this other monster, like, wasted my trap card, so... I think I just have to, like, hit over 2,600 defense points, which is gonna be really weird. I guess if I threw out something this monster could destroy, then I'd be fine. But that's just the thing. I don't think I have anything with less than 300 defense points. Or I could just throw out a defensive monster and have him stupidly run into it like that. Okay, that was the solution, because the AI is still dumb even if they have better cards. Well, that was particularly lucky. I forgot that about the AI. And I think that wins us the duel at the art museum. So I'm glad for the deck capacity, even if this isn't required. Reaper of the cards, I already have that. Okay, that was a required duel. Next up is, I guess, well, next up I have to save, because I'm going to save after every duel. Next up, we should head to the bridge, probably. There's 2 ghouls here. I don't know if you have to beat both of them. So I'm going to fight the one in the back, and then if it gives the little ding noise, I'm going to assume that means the area is cleared. Okay, so he's got a dark deck, it seems. And I've drawn Exile of the Wicked. I threw this just in case I ran into a dark deck with a lot of fiends. And that's definitely a fiend. But first, always check for traps. Yep. I should have just let the dark monster run into my dream monster, honestly. Hey, Heavy Storm! Could have baited that and not have to deal with the traps myself. No light monsters, so I think I have to do this. This duel took forever. Like, look at this. We are both down to 14 cards in our decks, and I was down to, like, 1,400 life points. Definitely going to edit that out in post-production, unfortunately. It was just not worth watching. Dark Chimera, a terrible monster. Okay. That didn't give the little ding noise, but I guess you have to duel this guy instead. I guess I'll just have to complete this duel and find out, because I do need to upgrade my deck anyways, so getting some extra capacity is good. Shame he went first, though. Let's check for traps. Yep, Acid Trap Hole. Oh, geez, I am almost dead. It would not be good if I were to, like, actually lose like that. Is this a fiend? It's a dragon. One that I can defeat. Yeah, that was a good play. That would have beaten me if he was, in attack position, but I think I win now. I'm winning duels with Mr. Volcano. That's just so funny to me. Anti-Raigeki. Okay, I've been frustrated with Raigeki up until now. So this is actually a really good card, and I think I'm going to add it to my deck. So that was a lucky win. Alright, so apparently the ghoul in the back was not required. I don't know for sure. But that just leaves the aquarium area, and that area is really tough, so I'm going to save the game, edit my deck, and I will be right back for that area. Alright, deck's edited. On to the next area. This should be the last area with ghouls in it we have to defeat, and like with the bridge, I'm not sure if both of them are required. There's two here. Let's start with the one in the back. Okay, they start with water fields in this area, just like before. And that's gonna help him out a lot, because he's got water monsters. A lot of female water monsters, like my favorite, Toon Mermaid. I get to fight her. Luckily, I've got dream monsters. Weird thing about Toon Mermaid, it's obviously a transformed red archery girl, as I'm sure anyone who saw the duel with Pegasus knows. The weird thing is, like, Toon Mermaid is a dark monster in this game, and Red Archery Girl is a water monster. This kind of attribute change between the non-Toon and the Toon monster doesn't really happen with the other Toon monsters. Like, Manga Rioran is a fiend monster, whereas Rioran is a fire monster. And I think the other Toons just keep their attributes. It's really weird. In fact, it's completely done. He has no cards left. Okay, I hope that's all of the guys I need. Another Dark Chimera, how nice. Nope, I think I need to get rid of both of them. Or maybe it's just the first guy in the area that I need to fight. I don't really know. But if I have to duel both of them, then so be it. What's he's got in his hand? Okay, he's changing it back to a water field. And it looks like I win unless that's a trap. Acid Trap Hole. I think I win anyways, actually, because of the power-up. No, I was winning anyhow. Okay, that takes care of the ghouls. Another anti-Raigeki. That's actually really nice of you. I don't know how a bunch of card players managed to take over the town. But now that that's over with, and I can go and save, because I don't want to lose that anti-Raigeki, we can head over to the park finally and find... I don't have anything to say. Like, I'm lost for words. So this is Bandit Keith. You know him, you love him. He plays a machine deck in the show. So what do you think Kartal did? Kartal goes and gives Bandit Keith Cocoon of Evolution. This guy has Cocoon of Evolution. What kind of sense does that make? Please tell me. At least he had the decency to set all of his spell cards, so I could Feather Duster them. But my god. There it is, as a matter of fact. But luckily, I have... That's not Cocoon of Evolution? He just set it in defense. What the heck? Oh, it was a light monster versus a dark monster. So, of course, he sets it in defense. My bad. There it was! See, there's the proof. He has it. I wasn't lying. Now, remember, if Cocoon of Evolution survives a turn, you are facing Great Moth and then perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. Look at this! Look at this, too! Jirai Gumo. That weird spider monster that in this field has, like, well over 2,000 something attack. You have to put fire monsters in your deck against Bandit Keith. And I know I'm making this look easy because I just trashed his 2 best cards. But you have to realize, I'm getting... Oh, of course, here we go again. Swords of Revealing Light. 3 turns of not being able to do anything. Fabulous. And if he gets Raigeki, well, if he gets Raigeki, I have my trap card, so whatever. But come on. Do you have any idea how much luck this is taking me? Oh, when a water monster just gets rid of Mr. Volcano. Does he have anything? No, he doesn't have anything. I'll just downgrade him. I don't feel like... Right, so the swords are now gone, at least. This should be a nice power-up. At least, I don't think he has any more forest cards beyond what you've seen already, so... I may just have to... I don't know why I'm activating Spellbinding Circle right here. This is the luckiest duel that I've had so far, and he still has, like, 3 monsters on the board. So there could be anything crazy waiting for me if he draws into it. I do have Heavy Storm, though. But I should be able to win now. Ah, he tried Raigeki, and I had anti-Raigeki, so it's his monsters that go away. I am so glad I won that trap card. I think I win now. There's not a lot he can do at this point. So yes, if you get exceedingly lucky with this duel, you too can beat it. But this is like attempt number 7. Seriously, who puts Cocoon of Evolution in a machine deck? At least you get a lot of deck capacity at this point, and a lot of money too. You're going to be seeing a lot of rewards for the duels from here on out. And winning Barrel Dragon is pretty cool. Okay, now we can go back and tell Yugi what we just learned. So I'm gonna save. Not sure I want to keep going after the mess that I just had to deal with. I suppose there's no harm. So, Seto Kaiba should know where Wheeler is because all of the dual discs he built for this tournament have tracking devices in them. I'm going to be generous and say that this was done for the safety of the participants rather than anything freaky. So now Yugi actually joins us and follows us around, which is pretty cool actually. I get to hang out with the King of Games. So we need to head to Kaiba Corporation, where the guard will not tell us where Kaiba is, because I don't know why. I think it's just there to give us one extra duel with this guy. I think you can beat him earlier in the story, and it will count as having beaten him here, but okay. This guy is named Roland, by the way. I don't know if you knew whether the security guard for Kaiba Corporation had a name or not, but there you go. Okay, Dragon Treasure and One-Eyed Shield Dragon. That's not really a tough card. 1200. Let me spellbinding that. In theory, this guy should not be difficult, but knowing Kartal and what he's capable of, there might be a surprise. And I know I'm ragging on you a lot, Kartal, but, you know, I don't hate this patch because it really has made the experience of Sacred Cards a lot better, but you just go way over the line sometimes. That's all. That's all I want to say. Yeah, this guy looks really easy. Yeah, he was not that difficult. That's more like what typical vanilla Sacred Cards is like. Still get a similar amount of... Oh, you also win the FGD. I have no idea what that stands for, actually, but it's a 3 tribute monster and has the highest attack power in the game. It was also colored purple for some reason, because, well, there was a purple color for fusion monsters, but it went unused in the game code. So I think Kartal's just decided to give that monster the purple color randomly, because it is technically a fusion monster, but, like, whatever. Alright, so we have to look for Mokuba now. Because apparently nobody knows where Seto Kaiba is except for his little brother. So if we head to the building, I think... Yeah, there he is. Mokuba's getting kidnapped. What a surprise. I mean, that had to happen eventually, right? It's the unwritten rule of Yu-Gi-Oh! So these two, they are also anime characters. They are a pair of duelists known as Loomis and Umbra, and they tag duel Yugi and Kaiba at one point in the show, but in the game's version of events, they're going to be tag dueling Yugi and us. Alright then. It takes place at the top of the building, so you actually don't have to ever look inside any of the building rooms at all, but you can if you want. You can even come up to the roof before you duel these guys. You can pick which one you want to duel. I don't really know what the difference between them is. But let's do it. You start on a dark field and they've got more spell cards, including multiple copies of Pot of Greed, even though you're not supposed to be able to do that. I'm going to Heavy Storm you just for that. Like, I think Pot of Greed is limited to 1 copy in Kartal's version. He changed the limited list, so I don't really know for sure. Alright, so far so good. Another stroke of good luck. Wall of Illusion is unpleasant, but I'm gonna draw 1 card instead of attacking with Skull Angle. Fiend's Hand is good. At least I'm way better prepared for these guys, at least. I'll just attack regularly instead of actually using the effect. It looks like, did I picked Umbra, right? It looks like he was the better choice. Although I am now facing a light monster with 2000 attack, but I drew a spell card. No biggie. I think that's game. It is. Alright, so that makes up for the mess that Bandit Keith was. 180 deck capacity for that one. And the Masked Beast, which is a fairly strong monster, but for 2 tributes, it's a little difficult to get out there. And Merrick is speaking to us once again. You know, we could just switch up our decks in order to throw off his little recon gathering thing. Yes, all of his minions obey his rod, as some might say. You know, none of these dialogue choices change anything, by the way. Alright. At least we saved Mokuba. Don't expect me to... Well, okay. You don't want to thank us for saving your life. Fine by us. Both of these guys are terrible in the show. And this game. We are trying to get rid of the bad guys. Why is helping us a problem? Are they just that proud of themselves? Yeah, whatever. Here's what the second floor looks like, by the way. Like, I guess there's a couple of NPCs you can duel, but I really don't get why that area is even there. Like, there's no plot relevance to it at all. Alright, so he's at the art museum, was he? And it seems the ghouls have left the building, by the way. The regular security guards are there. No respect for cards, he says. They look exactly like Roland. Alright, so he's at the pier. Anybody who watched this show knows what's going to happen next, because it's probably one of the most iconic duels in this arc. Alright, I think that's enough. I have given the next duel, like, 10 attempts or something, and I can't beat it, so I'm going to have to edit my deck off screen and get back to you guys. So, I will see you next time for the conclusion of this little story arc, and then we can start the next one. Later, everyone.